Hi, I'm Cody Elaine Oliver. I am a director and producer and creator of Black Love and a storyteller, and I'm a boss mom. I have one son who is 21 months, so almost 2, and I'm pregnant again. And I'm married to a cool boss dad filmmaker, Tommy Oliver. So my husband and I created a show called Black Love, which airs on OWN, highlights happily married Black couples and interracial couples. We created Black Love Doc because we felt like there was, first off, a void in positive representation of Black people, especially Black couples, Black families in film and television. And that was part of it. The other part of it was that we also felt like marriage is this thing that people do every day, but nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about what it takes to get to 5, 10, 20, 50 years married with one other person every day, all the time. And because there are lots of divorces and there are just various ways that people live, you kind of wonder, how do you do this thing? How do you make it successful? And so it was important to us to figure that out, or at least to talk to other people who had been successfully married, successful defined by they're still together after however many years. It was important to us to find that out for ourselves, but also to showcase that despite whatever the media tells us about Black people, about single parent homes, about the divorce rate in our community, whatever they say, at the end of the day, we're showing you people who are doing it and making it work. And you can't deny that. My son wakes up every day about 7:30. And so as a result, I wake up by 7:30. Sometimes, depending on what time I went to sleep, I might set an alarm and get up a little bit earlier and try to do some things first. But the reality is I get up when I hear him yelling. And so at that point, I will maybe brush my teeth, but get into his room, change him, play with him a little bit, and then my husband and we all get up and make breakfast and eat together. My parenting style, and maybe it's partly having a boy, has always been to give him independence. I'm certainly not free of worry and concern, but at the end of the day, I've always wanted him to be able to learn things, and he's shown that works for him. So when it came to walking, people really want to encourage their kids to walk, but at the same time, people tell you slow down, because once that happens, they're running. At the end of the day, if he was standing up and walking alongside the table or whatever it was he was doing, I wanted to let him do it. I don't want it to be nearby so that he didn't hurt himself, but whatever it was, I want to let him do it. As a filmmaker, specifically documentarian, I am at the office a lot, shooting a lot, outside the office, traveling a lot, and juggling wifedom and my son, and lately that's gotten a lot harder because my body's just plenty tired, but we just keep really busy, and so there's a lot of juggling and scheduling that goes into that. Self-care for me, it used to be like a glass of wine, just on let me just chill out and take an hour and have a glass of wine and watch some TV. I have less of that now that I'm pregnant. Not none, but I have a lot less. And self-care is just really hard. I think it is very necessary, and I applaud moms who are able to make that a priority, and I know I need to, but I definitely don't. I mean, every once in a while, I'll get out and have brunch with a friend or a group of friends or something like that, and I would say for me, that self-care is just that time to check out from my husband and my son, and nobody needs me, I'm just enjoying myself. That's the closest thing that I come to with self-care, and I try to get it where I can get it. I think that becoming a mom has only solidified my desire for the work that I do to make change. That has always been a priority of mine. It's partly the family that I come from and how much, my dad was a doctor in Fort Worth, Texas. He and his dad, my granddad, had their own clinic and only served Black people. They were in a poor Black neighborhood, and they could have been doctors anywhere. And it was important to them to service the community, in a lot of cases, whether patients could pay or not. like that's the family that I come from. And so my community is important to me. And so it was always important to be able to tell stories that contribute to our growth as Black people, and our knowledge, and also our representation, not just for what we see, but how the rest of the world sees us. And so I think having a son, having a family only deepens that desire. I mean, it just makes me want to do more, a lot of times specifically for Black men, because I have, you know, a son. And so it makes me more passionate about what can I be doing to strengthen our community, to strengthen the moms of Black boys, to strengthen the way that Black men see themselves in this world, which in a lot of ways puts a lot of weight on me, but I think I'm not the only one. And so I think that it's probably a good place to be. So how am I living my best life? By building the family that I've always wanted, with a man who wants the same and who loves me, and occasionally getting away from both my husband and my son and having my girl time. I think that that's super important. And so I just am living my best life by doing what matters to me professionally, loving the people that are in my life, and working toward growth at all times. My advice to someone who wants to be in the same space as I am professionally, who's a mom, is to seek out people who want what you want, or who are doing what you're doing, that are like you. And I say that because I have been so fortunate to work with amazing women producers or executives in film and television over the last, more than a decade of my career here in LA. Some that had kids, some that had kids after I worked for them, but the reason I bring that up is because they wanted what I wanted, and I knew that. And so I also know what it's like to work for people who don't care about family and don't want that, and it's a very distinct difference. So I would just say, seek out people who are doing what you're doing, that value what you value, because it makes a huge difference to see how they operate, what their integrity looks like, what their balance looks like, and there's a lot to be learned far outside of like how to make good TV.